Yeah, so there's a transitional period happening right now. Leaving Dorje, moving down south for you. And yeah, it seems like a couple other practitioners and people are also going through transitional phases. And I was wondering if you have any advice for going through transitional phases in life.
Yeah, go with the flow. It's not for us to always figure out what's happening beyond the point, you know. Not too many people can see the future, so they have to go with the flow and hope for the best. And what you have is just your center of being that you carry on your journey through all your changes. You depend upon that to make sure you have good times as you travel. You have to know that you exist, that you are, that you're here, and you're on a journey. It's a long journey, and for some people it's ongoing until they pass over. And then that begins another phase of their journey. And it's also a part of the good journey, to keep going from dimension to dimension, from state to state, from one level of awareness to another level of awareness. So, But in the middle, or in the midst of all of the changes, you're just here. See? It's just the here-ness and the now-ness. Being here now is constant. So we have security in that. That's the ground. Then being here now is the ground. See? And if you have a depth of being, you can trust what's happening and feel okay about it. Say, come what may, you're ready for it, because it's part of your journey. And it's better to be on the side of peace than stress, confusion, and anxiety about changes. One can say that they're already laid out for you. You just need to walk it. It's like a yellow brick road is there. You have to just move your feet across the road. See? And feel also that your goodness is working for you. See? Your happiness. See? So that you are okay with yourself, your choices, your decisions, your experiences, your life, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, and that you're in good hands. And that the process is really a positive process, even if it's mysterious during certain phases, as this phase could be one of uncertainty, would seem to be, but it's not the feeling. The feeling is forward motion, staying in the flow, and feeling good about whatever happens as part of the goodness of your experience as a human being. Well, we can say we hope for the best. But we can also feel that we are creating what is happening. So it's not like you're just there for the ride. Somebody else has got you on some kind of ride, like to say the who knows ride. No, this is this is conscious. The conscious. Change is also conscious. And the basis is confidence in the goodness. The goodness of your words, your actions, your intentions, your aspirations, your wishing, see, your good-naturedness. See, and let that work for you as you move forward or as you move backward when you have to do that. See, some people have to go back. See, so this is going forward. Maybe it's going backwards too, but it's also going forward. See, just going. I think the key is going. See, enjoying the going. See. Mm-hmm. It's been a great honor and privilege to create a situation like this for other people, for visitors, for musicians, for family, friends, so on, practitioners, travelers, to stop along their pairs, come sit down, have tea, chat, keep the topics deep, useful, meaningful. And giving people a rest point on their journey. You come here, ask questions. Many people who are on the journey have more questions than they're able to ask. See? And sometimes sitting in a certain situation for some people, they can have access to deeper questions for themselves if they know that such questions can be addressed properly and honorably, spiritually, see, positively, for their sake. So that's also been a helpful service for many people who have come by. And of course there's a musical side. There's been some profound music experience here. There are records to validate what I'm talking about. Great records with great players. And so no regrets in terms of the music whatsoever. It's great, honorable service. Brilliant musicians, and, exquisite moments, inspiring contact with people, and spiritual depths of awareness were reached through the sound, as I would have it. Let's go deeper. So great moments. A lot was accomplished here. A lot of books were written for the people. A lot of records exist for those who are, let's say, musicians and people who love deeper music, contemplative music. There's a lot that has been created here that could be of use to people. They help them meditate, help them, let's say, visualize where they need to go, what they need to feel, who they need to be during the next phase of their life. And the same could be said about the books that are part of the visionary experience. See, part of looking forward, looking backwards in a way with a certain degree of completion. See, but looking forward with a degree of, let's say, anticipation of better things to come. See. Mm-hmm. Always better things to come. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And go. Mm-hmm. So what is moving forward, there's being here now. And there's also having been somewhere, being here, and then moving forward. We say 3 different dimensions of directions. See. For many people, they look forward to moving forward so that they can have more to look forward to, that excites them, maybe improves their circumstance. See. And some people plan it out that way. And that takes care of one dimension, which is what we call a future dimension. But it may not be the most important dimension. It's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen. It may be already happening for some people. But one of the more important dimensions is the dimension of now. Nowness. Who one is being now. And making the most out of that. What one is being now. Where one is being now. And how one is being now. So we are functioning on different levels or different dimensions of consciousness simultaneously. Later on this evening, we're going to be going into the dream state. So we're going to retire and rest. And that's another dimension of consciousness. And some people have control over that, some people don't. So some people see what they want to see in that dimension. Other people can't see anything in that dimension. So there is the inner dimensions that for many people on the spiritual path, the source of what happens out here. So maybe you'd call it the cause of what's happening here. Some of what we experience you've already dreamt of, but may not remember. And as we go forward, we can catch up with our dreams that way. So, I remember this. I had to move forward. I had to go forward in time to experience what I already dreamt. Some people believe that the only way you experience anything is by way of having dreamt it at some point before. It's all dreamed and unfolded. You experience what you've already dreamt. That's a point of view. I'm not saying it's important, but it is a factor to consider when you're figuring out who and what is going on in your life, where you are, where you have to be, and so on. See? Then you come into the focus of meditation, see, as part of this process. And we're actually meditating more than we think, more than we know, more than we sometimes care to acknowledge, because it sounds like a specific thing, but the mind is always contemplating its nature, contemplating its being, contemplating its reality. So we can say the mind is meditation. It's constantly in meditation, thinking about this, processing that, and so on and so forth, ad infinitum. See, covering all the areas, all the bases that an individual can be preoccupied with. See. And then, of course, beyond that, there's nothing happening. See, there's zero. So, no consciousness, as well as all consciousnesses. See, all of this is part of that. The awakening process and the sleeping process. And there's peace. And there's just stopping and being. And breathing. And stillness. And clearness. And regeneration. And all of these things have been discussed with people over the years, each one at a different point in the process of their own self-realization or discovery, but nevertheless going through the unfoldment process, for better and for worse in some cases, but inevitably, going through changes, day by day, moment by moment, going through memories, going through tragedies, through, let's say, celebrations and high moments and painful times and blissfulnesses, all of which is part of the life experience. Newborns come into the picture and people are thrilled and exalted and wow, excited to no end. Marriages come into the picture and losses come into the picture. One right after another. One moment, one event, one experience, one level at a time. And so it is an issue of making it a significant, let's say, perception of life for oneself, or having the view that nothing happens. Nothing has ever happened. Nothing is still happening. Nothing is happening now. Who can rest with nothing is always happening? So there's paying attention to time, space, energy, and matter. Projections, consciousness, perceptions. And then there's abiding as stillness. There is breathing. There is sitting. There is seeing. There is hearing. And there is listening. There is knowing. And there is being here now. Deeply, profoundly here. Now. Integrating. Recharging. Balancing. Regenerating forces. Pacifying the emotions. Calming the brain waves. And clarifying awareness. And embracing the moment. It's the beauty it is. The miracle it is to be at at all. To breathe freely. To be safe. To be at peace. To be free. To move down to Virginia could very possibly facilitate the need to get into classical guitar instead of what I've been doing. And piano. If I have it my way, I want to spend more time on the keys, see, and explore that area of my own, say, reservoir of music. It's always interesting to play the piano, come up with things. So now to document some of that, if it's possible. I have a soprano saxophone and a viola. I can also put to good use. It's going to take some discipline and maybe bring them into the music field to some degree, so that they can earn their keep as well. So these are aspirations, very, let's say, possible manifestations of sound to be explored and developed and or shared accordingly when the time comes. In the meantime, there is a lot of opportunity for yoga practice, breathing practice, and deep chanting practice, the Hugh chant practice, which is very good breathing and sound practice. Very good calming and clearing of the brain energy, the head chakras. And entering more, contemplative states of consciousness. Going deeper into peacefulness. Bringing more peace to others and being peaceful for oneself. Good practice. Not intending going to sleep, but being peaceful, clear. See? Deeper. More aware. More mindful, more attentive, more open, and more conscious. More healing. You reach. Shoo.